Hi YouTube, it's Ashley Cami with Clear Vision Media, bringing you all things music, culture, and wellness space. Well, for starters, welcome to my channel. If you're already subscribed, hey y'all! I am the face behind all of the trippy R&B content, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your support, all the comments, the subscriptions. I am so forever appreciative of all that support, and thank you guys for making the trippy R&B section of my channel feel like such a community. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not, here's a brief explanation of who I am, what Clear Vision Media is, and what our purpose is. So I am Ashley Cami. I am the creator, the content creator, the brains, the wheels of the whole operation of Clear Vision Media. And what Clear Vision Media started out as was a blog intended to educate on music and fashion and culture and art. And more recently, I've kind of redesigned it to be a resource that you can access on YouTube, social media, and now we have our own magazine. This is basically a new aspect to my channel that I'm gonna call In the Know, and it's basically focusing on topics I stumble across on social media, and I do an in-depth dive into what it is, the culture, where it came from, and basically give y'all more information than what we see on social media, because I cannot tell you how many times I've stumbled across false information on social media. We all come across it nowadays, right? And so what this is to give you the truth and just some background information on whatever the topic is, and just giving that to you and you doing what you please with that information. So today's topic is going to be on ashwagandha. It's something I discovered on social media. It's a vitamin that I purchased because of social media, and like a dummy, I took the information I saw on social media and I ran with it, and it was the worst. It wasn't the worst decision ever, but it was a pretty bad decision because I experienced some side effects from it, and that was all because I didn't do my research, right? So I wrote about ashwagandha in the January issue of Clear Vision Media magazine. That link will be below. Be sure to check that out. But if you're not too keen on reading, that's what this video is for, so it's okay, y'all. Let me get into what my experience with ashwagandha. So I stumbled across ashwagandha on, I believe, Instagram, and I started taking it to help with hormonal imbalances. It said it helped with anxiety, insomnia, things like that, right? I was like, okay, cool. I think it also mentioned something about energy. I don't know, but I took it a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. I think around Thanksgiving was my third week of taking it daily, and I just remembered around that time I would always be so freaking tired. I would be drowsy tired. Now, I am a server, and sometimes, and you know what, I don't even think I was working that hard around that time, or maybe I was, but usually if I'm really tired, I'm like, oh, I must have just worked super hard this weekend, and that's cool. But I specifically vividly remember driving down to my auntie's house the day before Thanksgiving because I was gonna help her cook, and I was, yes, I was sitting in traffic, but y'all, I was so tired. It was 2 p.m. I had just waken up a couple hours before. It was no reason I should have been tired, y'all. I was so tired. After, I think it was an hour and a half ride to her house, when I got there, the first thing I did was stop at Quick Trip and got a Red Bull because I was so freaking tired, and I knew I was gonna have to stay up and help her cook, right? So I'm like, yo, I can't be walking into my auntie's house basically falling asleep, and we're about to cook. So that was and she's a nurse, and I actually mentioned that I was taking ashwagandha to her, and she was like, oh, that's so weird. If it's making you feel drowsy, why not just take it at night? And I was like, oh my gosh, of course, that's so brilliant. But what I did was I actually stopped taking it for a couple of weeks, and I was like, let me do some research before I'm just putting things in my body. And what better research to do into a vitamin or herb than doing research into where it came from. Like, what did they use when they first started cultivating this herb, you know? And that's what I did. So ashwagandha is actually a small shrub, and it's native to India, northern Africa, and the Middle Eastern areas of the world. It can be cultivated in other areas, but it's not very natural for the plant to be growing in outside of these areas. It does like sunny, warm, dry areas. The most historic use of ashwagandha was in like ancient, like Indian holistic practices. And what they would do was that they would cultivate the root, put it in teas, put it in medicine. They would actually use it as a calming herb. They would give it to soldiers before battle. They would give it to people before they have to go to sleep. It was a calming, numbing herb. Outside of its calming effects, it was also used as a natural libido for both men and women. Outside of it being a calming, relaxing drug, it also does help with hormonal imbalances, and it can increase your libido level. However, modern research does focus on its anti-anxiety effects, which is, I think, where I got super invested into it. In addition to it being a calming agent for before war back in India, they also used it to increase energy and stamina before battle. And that's where it actually got its Sanskrit name, which means smell of the horse. One, because it had a really distinct odor, but two, some people think maybe the horse metaphor could maybe have something to do with increasing strength. I don't know. All I know is most of the research I did was capitalizing on its anxiety and anti-insomnia, very downing, drowsy effects. And I think that's where my body reacted to ashwagandha the most. And my advice to you, if you do plan on doing more research into ashwagandha or taking ashwagandha, is just keep that in mind. If back in ancient times they use this as something to numb people, maybe it's something that is more for sleep. And honestly, I do now take it at night before I go to sleep, and I do struggle with insomnia, but I haven't really been struggling with insomnia recently. Maybe it's due to ashwagandha, I don't know. But I can say when I took it during the day, I was super extremely drowsy. So I don't want to make this video too long, just to kind of give you guys an introduction of In the Know, also an introduction to this new aspect of my channel. Please let me know what you guys think of this content. What did you think of this video? I love the community feel y'all have with the trippy R&B content. I would love to get that same energy for the In the Know content. Let me know. Did you rock with this video? Did you want more info? And if you do want more info, head over to my magazine. It does have a little bit more information on ashwagandha. Thanks for sticking with me throughout this video. Subscribe so that you always know when I have more trippy R&B content, more In the Know content, and I'll see you later. Peace.